We can give a look, to the album application, which is nothing but the gallery, of course, and see the quality of pictures and video recorded by the Sony Xperia Z1. So we have the gallery here. As you may see, it's the same old gallery that we can find into any other recent Sony Xperia devices. We have the possibility to zoom in and zoom out, changing the size of thumbnails, of course, and we even have the possibility to select different way of grouping picture. This one is called picture, and it goes by date. You can read July here, or September, or October, of course. But we even have what is called my albums. Albums depends, of course, on the type. We have social albums like Facebook, Play Memories, which is nothing but the Sony services for online storing pictures and video. We have Picasa, of course, Flickr. We have a camera album, and this is everything taken with the camera, and it's subgrouped into other groups like photo, videos, but short time, short burst, and AR effect. We have internal memory versus SD card. We have the maps view, where we can see the picture and video grouped by place, and selecting the place you may see all the video and picture taken in that place. Then we have, for instance, even the globe, which is quite nice, and even here we can zoom in or zoom out just to see, and selecting the place we have all the picture and video taken into that place. So there are many possibilities here. Dealing with just the gallery itself, I want to let you notice that here we have a few stuff for what concern picture editing. Just let me show you. Let me find just one stupid picture to edit like this. We can of course select the internal photo editor or the external one pre-installed by Sony. I won't show you the external one as there are tons of them into the Play Store. But dealing with the camera, of course, there are all these standard editing stuff that we can find inside any recent Android device, like this one dealing with the several filters, or this one dealing with frames, or this one with cropping, straighten, rotate, mirror, or even this one dealing with brightness, contrast, and so on. We cannot, for what concern video editing, we cannot edit video at all. We cannot, for instance, cut the video like we could do on other Android devices. As you can see, we don't have anything here. We cannot even capture a single frame when we are reproducing the video, which is something that recently can be done on many other top-end devices nowadays. So these are more or less all the capabilities of this gallery for what concerns Sony. And also we can talk about the quality of picture taken by this 20.7 sensor. So picture generally are taken by this sensor are very good. Just let me show you. Let's put it this way. I mean, picture taken by the 20 megapixel like this one, for instance, you can read the resolution, are just really full of details. It's incredible. You won't believe that this picture is taken by a mobile phone. It's extremely full of details. Incredible. The 20.7 resolution together with the G lens and 6 element f2.0 27 millimeters is a very good and capable set to take pictures. And a very nice surprise was even this one, the oversampling mode, which is called Superior Auto. Here in this mode, although we are using 8 megapixel resolution, as I already told you before, we have so many details here too, which is almost incredible. And these things is so good. Not only in situation like this one, there's so much light into the scene, but the best of this superior auto is used into the most difficult scene to take, like for instance night shot, or shot with just low light, or even worse, in shot with low light and moving subject. I cannot show you the picture, of course, because they are personal, but I was at my nephew's birthday last weekend. It was extremely cloudy, and we even have under a gazebo, of course, so there was very few light because it was all covered by cloud. We were under a gazebo, no light, because it was a late afternoon, no light, and the moving subject, I mean my nephew is just 2 years old, was not a steady subject, of course, indeed, but the picture came out perfectly. Any other devices would have taken horrible picture, out of focus, blurry picture. This Z1 was capable of taking really great picture, and that really surprised me. This device is one of those devices that you can use in almost any situation, and this is a very, very nice plus. Let me tell you, you can rely on the camera of this device, which is not something really common. There are of course few caveats, like this against the sunlight shot, which didn't have such a great output. Even the 20 megapixel didn't have that much not by exposure. What I can tell you is that usually the oversampled picture has a perfect balancing of brightness and contrast, so a perfect light into the scene, while the 20.7 megapixel not every time has the best exposition for what concerns brightness and light. This is the macro taken into oversampling mode than 8 megapixel. This is the same macro taken with 20.7 megapixel. Here you may see even more details. The big difference, just let me show you, is when we are, for instance, taking picture with low light. This is another sample of picture taken with oversampling. So to be an 8 megapixel picture, just let me tell you, this picture has so much details. Just one thing, as you may notice while I'm changing between picture. The first time I select the picture it seems to be a little bit blurry. I don't know why the device takes a little bit to load the picture in all of its details, so don't get alarmed. The picture are not blurry at all. It's just a gallery that takes, I don't know why, because this device is extremely powerful, but it takes sometimes to load the picture in all of these details. These are other macro mode, and here I can show you the difference for what concern light exposure between the 20.7 megapixel shot and the 8 megapixel oversampled shot. These are nothing but 20 megapixel. As you may see, we have plenty of details, extremely detailed picture, but we have overexposed picture here. The flower is too bright, way too bright. This is the same picture taken exactly in the same position, just switching from 20.7 megapixel to 8 megapixel oversampled superior auto, and you can see the difference in terms of light reading. Here the flower has a very good exposure, quite different from the one that we had here into the 20 megapixel shot. You may hopefully appreciate the difference. Way too oversaturated, and here perfect. So the 8 megapixel oversample mode is really great, even for what concern picture taking. This is another picture, 20.7, too much bright, and this one is perfect exposure. Look at this. And of course we have plenty of details to be an 8 megapixel picture. It's really incredible. It's really incredible. Here another example of how good is the 8 megapixel oversample mode. This is a picture taken at you know, a little bit maybe a few hours after the the sun came down. It was not night at all, but look at this. This is the picture taken in oversample mode. This one is the same picture taken in 20.7 megapixel. Just pay attention to the difference of light. It's incredible. The oversample picture has great, perfectly exposed picture. Just let's zoom a little bit. I mean, this one to be an 8 megapixel picture, there are good details. Of course, there's some noise. In this one too, there's some noise, although we have better details, a better sharpness. But the difference in terms of light is, enormous. Look at this. This is another 8 megapixel oversample picture, and this is T20. So much difference. Just let me show you a few other examples of the difference in terms of light reading of the scene. Yes, this one. These picture two were taken, these were taken almost at night. Look at this, 20 megapixel, how dark is the scene. 8 megapixel oversample, there's so much light. It's just great. It's incredible. There are even many details, and it's quite sharp. Of course, the 20 megapixel it's even sharper. We have better resolution, but such a difference in terms of light reading, it's incredible. We don't have that much difference when we use HDR picture, and this is quite strange. I will show you in a few seconds. Another stuff that I want to show you is the difference in terms of light reading at night picture. This is a picture taken completely at night. Look at this, it's incredible. I use this scene for benchmarking my smartphone cameras, and this one is extremely light. Look at this, so much light taken into this shot. It's incredible. Of course, there's some noise, but not that much. If we give a look to the 20 megapixel, look at this. Look how different is the light reading of these two modes. Of course, if we zoom in into the 20.7, we even have better details, but we have more noise that we had into the previous oversample image. This is of course a benefit of oversampling. Look, even this one is a very detailed picture, but there's of course indeed some noise. Here, just let me show you. This is maybe one of the few times that the superior auto mode fails. Too much light, definitely too much light. This is the same picture taken at 20.7 megapixel. This is maybe it's a little bit underexposed, but you may see that this one is a fail. And this other one too. This one, where is it? Here we go. This one too, maybe too much light, too much bright, and we have even failed for what concern the color capture. They are not the real one. And here is the picture taken with 20.7 megapixel. Very few light in respect of the other ones, but it's much it's not that far from the real scene. But let me tell you, these were just few times that the superior auto fails. Usually you can rely on superior auto. It's great in terms of quantity of details captured, lower noise, and perfect exposure. Very good job from Sony for this superior auto. Nevertheless, the 20.7 megapixel shot, as I showed you, can and must be a little bit fixed for what concern light exposure. And another things that Sony did into the 20 20.7 megapixel capture shot is the fact that there's too much sharpness and too much noise. I mean, okay, having so much sharpness, it's very nice in some situation. Look at how sharp is this picture, but we even have some noise. Maybe Sony could balance a little bit better sharpness and noise reduction into 20.7 megapixel shot. Definitely, if we sum up a little bit on the camera capabilities, this device is great. It has great performance and even great potential to me, which is not yet completely expressed. So Sony have to work and can work hard to take out the best of this device, because the sensor and the lens itself are very good. So we have great macro shot, as I showed you, great night shot, great shot with low light or even no light at all, and even movie subject. But there's one thing that is not that good, is the HDR mode, at least in some situation. This is a superior auto picture. This is the same 20.7 megapixel. Once more, the difference in terms of light captured by the superior auto thanks to oversampling and the 20.7 shot. This is 8 megapixel shot taken without any kind of settings particular, and this one is the HDR picture. Here you can see the superior auto mode. How many details are there in this picture is incredible. It's just an 8 megapixel picture. This is the 20.7. Of course, we have even more details here. Sorry. This is the normal 8 megapixel and this is the HDR. Being an HDR, I would have expected more light into this hole here, but that's not so much different from this is the normal shot taken at 8 megapixels. You may see maybe it's just a little bit brighter, but not that much. So as you may see, Sony maybe has to work a little bit on the HDR mode. For everything else, this camera is really great. Few other stuff. This is the shot that we previously took using augmented reality. Using augmented reality, the shot taken is just 2 megapixels. Just let me show you. Okay, you may read it here. And there's another 2 megapixel shot, which is the time burst shot. This one, which is really nice. I will show you in a few seconds. And here we even have 2 megapixel resolution, but we have 61 picture taken in just 2 seconds. If you press the small button here, the Chrome button here, the device rebuild all the picture that compose this scene. And you may like this, swipe and select the frame, and or better the picture that you want to take. Is great. It's very good for fast moving subject. This is wonderful. Maybe it's like capturing frames for an 1080p video, but it's very good. So I guess we didn't forget anything for what concerns the different kind of capturing. Yes, maybe one more things. The panorama may be one of the downside of this device. We have quite a good merging algorithm, so there's no problem of what concern merging together all the part of the scene. But the problem is just with the resolution. This is really incomprehensible to me. I don't know why Sony decided to have such a low resolution. It's a little bit less than 5 megapixel. Why? I mean, other devices like the Galaxy S4 or the Note 3 and so on takes huge panorama picture. Why having just so small panorama picture is a pity. I don't know why. So I guess Sony should work a little bit if we concern this panorama picture. Now just few details for what concern the size of this picture. Picture taken with 8 megapixel are between 1.5 and 3 megapixel, while picture taken at 20 megapixel like this one with between 4.5 and 8 megapixels. So there are good values for in respect 8 megapixel and 20 megapixel.